Yeah.
Go.
Well, I've been selling my soul, working all day, overtime hours for bullshit pay, so I can sit out here and waste my life away, drag back home and drown my troubles away. It's a damn shame what the world's gotten to for people like me, people like you. Wish I could just wake up and it not be true, but it is. Oh, it is living in the new world with an whole soul. These rich men north of Richmond, Lord knows they all just wanna have total control. Wanna know what you think, wanna know what you do, and they don't think you know, but I know that you do. 'Cause your dollar ain't shit, and it's taxed to no end. 'Cause the rich men, 'cause the rich men. I wish politicians look out for miners, and not just miners on an island somewhere. Lord, we got folks in the street, ain't got nothing to eat, and the obese milking welfare. God, if you're 5'3" and you're 300 pounds, taxes ought not to pay for your bags of fudge rounds. Young men are putting themselves 6 feet in the ground, 'cause all this damn country does is keep on kicking them down. Lord, it's a damn shame what the world's gotten to for people like me, people like you. Wish I could just wake up and it not be true, but it is. Oh, it is living in the new world with an whole soul. These rich men north of Richmond, Lord knows they all just wanna have total control. Wanna know what you think, wanna know what you do, and they don't think you know, but I know that you do. 'Cause your dollar ain't shit, and it's taxed to no end. 'Cause the rich men, north of rich men. I've been selling my soul, working all day, overtime hours for bullshit pay.
Cashy, what you think?
I think Stephanie's right. We're going to get a copyright strike, but
Actually, I think
powerful.
I don't think they've been calling copyright strikes on those because only if someone watching it reports it, which there have been like literal dozens upon dozens upon dozens of reactions. So
Well,
if it happens, it happens.
If what David said, I think, was it David?
Yeah, this is true.
If that is true, in a year he'll make 106 million. No, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10.6 million. Sorry,
which is insane.
That is insane. That was painful. What do you mean that was painful?
Well, I think he means it was that was painful and like you could feel the dude's pain while he's singing, kind of deal.
Oh, because it was raw.
Yeah,
it was.
Dave might not have liked it, but at one point, did he say that if you're 5'3", and I'm not far off, and 300 pounds, then tax dollars shouldn't pay for your
bags of fudge rounds?
Yeah.
But then didn't he then talk about God like 3 seconds after that?
No, he just says, "Oh Lord," I think.
Yeah, but I mean that's okay. So I'm going Christiany, but isn't it? It's just not very Christian. Just all I was going to say. But I'm British, so we think that tax dollars we should help each other. So
yeah, I think it's a song about the welfare state. That's
we like the welfare.
Yeah, in the working class.
Yeah, but the people that take the piss. You know, the people that are 5'3" and weigh 300 pounds.
Yeah, the line before that, there's people in the street, and then you got your 5'3" people bagging fudge rounds with their welfare money instead of.
We are getting political, and we're going to get somebody in the comments say, "I'm out," like we did last week when we mentioned Trump for like 1 second. But who decides then who's taking the piss and who isn't? Do we get to decide?
That's kind of a point. Yeah.
Common sense, yeah. People? No. There should be some element of common sense. I'm not going to get into this because we will.
There's going to be a line somewhere, right? Who gets to decide where that line is?
Yes,
common sense.
I think common sense is the common denominator.
You have a panel of impartial people come up with what is like the line based on common sense, not based on political favor, not based on anything like that's going to benefit them, but just common sense.
There's no such thing.
Well, there is.
Because mob rule, right? So this is how politics works. You have common sense that we all know that if you're a one-on-one person, how you would like behave. But as soon as people get into a group, they will quite happily throw anybody under a bus and call it common sense. It's just when you get groupthink, people become numbers, and that's when things go horribly wrong. Put it this way: if there was a 5'3" person at 300 pounds who's having a heart attack in front of you, are you saying you would not try to help them?
No, because that's different. It's about funding that lifestyle. That's what it's about.
But there is a parallel to it, because what you're saying then is I would help him on a one-to-one level, but my country shouldn't.
The country shouldn't.
Well,
I believe in free healthcare.
Snacks.
We should have free healthcare. That's a universal right. I believe that wholeheartedly. What I don't believe in is having a welfare system where anyone can. I like the idea that anyone can claim it if they need it. If you're in a position where you don't need it, and you put yourself in a position health-wise where you're, I don't know, if you've made yourself incredibly fat and now you're depending on the state for help, you should not have money given to you. You should have the help given you to lose the weight and stuff, so you can then be self-sufficient.
But when they have a heart attack, leave them to it.
No, I've just said it. I've just said I believe in free healthcare.
Yeah, but
then there should.
Where do you stop then? Where do you stop?
There should be things in place to get them.
Would you tie their stomach? Do that thing where you can nuke their stomach and they lose weight that way.
If that was the easiest way to do it.
I know a fat bloke that worked a beaut. He had whatever it was, a band or something.
Yeah, my sister-in-law just had it done.
Lost a shitload of weight. Honestly, skin hangs off the man like flapping. It's amazing. Yeah. But so what wouldn't you do then? So if he has a heart attack, you'd still help him.
Yeah.
So what wouldn't you do?
I wouldn't give him the money to begin with to make him eat like McDonald's every single day.
What you're saying is he shouldn't be able to get like disability pay and things like that.
Yeah.
If they're not willing to help themselves, why should we be willing to help?
Being fat, I'm sorry, like this is gonna offend some people, but being fat is not a disability.
And it's not, and legally in this country it isn't. You can't get disability. If you then have fat-related disabilities, like your legs just can't take it, then you can get disability for that, but you cannot get disability for being overweight in this country. It's not a thing.
Yeah.
It is.
So, hey, we're good then. Hey! We've agreed and we've solved everything. That was a good way to start. You talk about movies.
Let's move on to something where we're not going to get cancelled.
I work in social care, so I'm a complete hippie when it comes to these things.
That's one of the reasons I was intrigued for your reaction to it. Was like, what does someone coming from this point of view think, and a Brit across the pond? There have been plenty of people across the world that have been reacting to it, but it's more of a working class anywhere, but hones in on the US, of course.
Put it this way, I think there's an ideal world and there's a world that we actually live in. And there's a world where people start drawing these lines and start dictating what you should and shouldn't do. Because I would argue that we should ban smoking. It should be illegal. Tobacco should be illegal. It costs the country way more than even heart disease. Even the heart disease is catching it pretty quick. So I said I would argue just ban it. Why am I paying for you to have? But people that smoke will say it's my freedom. I'm doing it to myself. Why are you telling me I can't smoke? So, but I just wonder that I'm not sure we should dictate to people what they can and can't do. But we should do incentives like sugar taxes, and we should tax tobacco like crazy to make it exorbitant. We should do things, and sugar tax. I have no problem with that at all. I say, but then if you want to eat, I remember there's this woman. She said she had 11 bags of chips, pie and chips a day, and she was like, I don't know what to do about it. And I can't help but think, just start with like 10. This is a Ricky Gervais joke, actually, but it was actually a genuine news report I read. Start with 10 bags of chips a day and go from there, sort of thing.
How do you eat 11 bags of chips a day?
She ate 11 bags of pie and chips every day, and then wondered why she weighed like 900 pounds.
I can eat. Like I am fat, but I could not eat 11 bags of fucking chips every single day.
She was thinking, oh well, Dave. Then it says alcohol's bad for you. So we're going to ban
alcohol and legalize marijuana.
Marijuana's bad for you.
Says who? Willie's still kicking.
I work in mental health. Marijuana in excess is bad for you.
For certain.
Anything in excess is bad for you. Anything. But if you've got any sort of mental health condition, so I always describe it like if the door to your mental health is slightly ajar, marijuana will kick it the fuck in. Right? In an excess. It is proven to cause psychotic breaks, and it's proven to cause
people predispositioned for those things.
If you've already got certain elements, and eventually, mate, it will affect your cognitive ability. It just will, in excess. Yeah. But I would argue that if you are going on your lunch break and drinking, you've got a problem. If you're going on your lunch break and smoking marijuana, you've got a problem. You know, and I would say it's exactly the same thing because it's excessive.
I would agree with that actually. I wouldn't like. I have no problem smoking marijuana. I have no problem drinking alcohol, but I wouldn't do it during my lunch break at work.
The way those things hit the body are totally different, and the way the body reacts to both those things are totally different.
I agree with you. The problem we've got mainly with marijuana is that because through hybridization we've did this thing where the drug that I always forget, I always get it the wrong way around. Is it THC and something else?
Yeah, THC.
But the one level has gone through the roof in the last 30 years or so. That's the drug that affects you, that makes you feel stoned. That's the drug that can affect your psychosis. It affects neurons and it affects neuronic action in your brain. And that if you've got any sort of open door to any sort of psychosis, it'll kick it in eventually.
Yeah, but the amount of people with psychosis or schizophrenia or the things that do make marijuana bad are such a minor part of the population. Like,
you say that it's about 5%. So if you're talking about 5%, if everybody started smoking marijuana 7-8 times a day, 5% of the population will go into psychosis. We don't have that because 5% people don't smoke. I've worked in mental health for years, mate.
I know, but is that UK or is that global or is that US?
Well, it's a UK statistic, mate, but we're all the same regardless of where you are on the planet, so it will be global.
Okay. I just don't know.
We're all humans at the end of the day. I'm on the SciTrek channel, the World Health Organization. Sorry, but he started me on something I do feel passionate about. At the end of the day, I would put marijuana and alcohol in the same booth as each other. And I drink, and I'm not going to tell you how you're wrong for smoking marijuana. What I'm telling you, though, is that if you are getting up in the morning and the first thing you want to do is have a joint, that's no different from getting in the morning and the first thing you want to do is have a drink. You've got to be.
Oh, yeah. I mean, waking and bacon's a little bit different than it is very different if you've done those things like ever. Like if you taken a couple shots in the morning,
I have a stone a day sometimes, but I go out at lunch and get pissed up and have an all day. Sometimes it's if you're doing it every day.
Oh yeah. But like you said, that's with anything and everything. You can overdrink water, like
yeah. Well, it's called drowning, but yes. But no, I know what you mean. You go into we actually had a guy who had to stop drinking water because he did have a OCD behaviors, and he was drinking water and I can't remember what it's called, but you get poisoned by something, don't you, if you drink too much water? It overfloods the blood, and
your liver's like, and I think it's your liver and your kidney. They're over processing in two different ways, and it's just like you can be too clean, I guess, or it just wipes out the good bacteria just as much as bad.
I believe it waters down your blood too much. It basically waters your blood down, but then it's some metal that builds up, and that's what kills you. I forget. Yeah, let's do that.